Hi, I'm John Verrill, and I play Evan on LARP's The Series. You're listening to the LARPBook podcast.
Welcome to the LARPBook podcast. This is episode 31, 3rd of April 2016. With me tonight is Robert Davis and Tom, the ever-bearded one. This is where you both say hello.
Oh yeah, hello.
Hello. Hello, ding dong.
Well, hello.
I was just waiting for you to drink a cup of tea, whether you or not that got spat out over your microphone.
Yeah, I know. That's not a good idea, is it?
But funny. So, in today's show, a cackling wizard. Where does a wizard get insurance? The Wilderness Center review. Steal My Arrow design. Living Games conference, and much, much, much more. So, how have you both been? Because I know you two managed to disappear off for a weekend's gaming event stuff and what have you.
You want to go first, Rob?
Okay, yeah, okay. I'm feeling absolutely...
Right, we're not as young as we used to be, but...
No, we're not.
And I'm feeling knackered.
Excellent.
Completely and totally knackered.
As you should do, but you shouldn't really, because you're a youngster, and you should be able to bound around with energy and everything.
Well, I can, but it doesn't help that you're the only one of two fighters in the entire party.
Tom did have a little problem this event in that the party was mostly made up of non-fighters on a group who were pretty much being sent in to do a suicide mission.
Yeah.
Ah, so they were the Syrian Suicide Squad then.
They were, yes.
That'll show them.
Yes, it really was. You guys go in and do the impossible. Okay. How many fighters have we got? None. What are we facing? An army. Oh.
Okay, let's do this.
Pretty much sounds like every D&D thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's a whole gaggle of demons over there, and there's only 3 of you. Off you go. Please save our village.
Yeah.
Or we could just bugger off and let the demons just get your village.
I think the village would have more chance if they got everyone in the village, armed them with pitchforks, and then went to attack. More chance than just 3 schmucks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this was the first time you've ever been to the Wilderness Center, then, Tom?
It was the first time I've ever been there. I've heard many brilliant stories about it.
Yeah.
It was the first time I actually was able to experience it, and it's possibly the best site I have ever been to for a LARP. It is fantastic. Yeah. Obviously, because they have redone it up after what happened previously, where they had to close it down. And what they've done is just truly remarkable. The building itself is just beautiful,
right? Okay.
Inside and out. The rooms were incredibly comfortable.
Yeah.
Very warm. Nice little mirror and sink private for you, so you can do your teeth and everything like that. It's fantastic. Bed's comfy. Spacious, big rooms, perfect for lots of different scenarios. They do have an upstairs, but they are insistent that you're not allowed to wear shoes upstairs because they got a nice new carpet. So the upstairs was off limits for LARPing because which it's understandable. They got a nice new carpet, so we don't want to mess that up.
Yeah.
But it was brilliant. The site's it's bigger than I thought it was, with the land around it a lot bigger than I thought.
Yeah.
But it's almost like the site was made for LARPing. It's got it's got an open field.
Yeah.
It's got what are they called? Normally in a stone circle thingy.
Yeah.
A stone circle.
Stone circle.
Yeah.
A hedge a stone hedge.
A stone.
Stonehenge. Well, at least it's not stone shrubbery.
Yeah, exactly. They've got forests that are surprisingly thick.
Yeah.
Because from what I could say, quite thick forest. So if you've got the wooded area, you've got courtyards, you've got if you want to do an illusion of a street, they've got that. They've got places to put taverns. They've got barns. They've got a Saxon building, an old Saxon. It's almost like this. It was built for LARPing, and it was fantastic, really fantastic.
And they have cellars.
And they have. I never got in the cellar. We didn't use it at this event, unfortunately.
Oh, we've used it to great effect.
Yeah. In fact, Tom was told a little bit about the cellars. After what happened there was, as anybody listening, I'll try to explain it. If you've not wilderness centres in Gloucestershire in the UK, and LARPers started using it quite some time ago.
Yeah. And
as Tom says, it is an exceptional location for LARPing because it does include everything Tom's talking about. Yeah. It does have also, in addition to what Tom mentioned, there is an extensive cellar system. We just didn't need to use them this game, so we kept them off limits.
Yeah, we have used them to great effect in the past, especially when you're torturing the odd individual, etc., or having to chain up a werewolf, that sort of thing. It's a everyday occurrence type thing. And yeah, it's that site, as Rob said, it's in Gloucestershire. It is absolutely fantastic. If you can imagine a stately home, because that's exactly what it is, right?
Yeah.
That was used, primarily it was used as kind of like an out and bound centre for scouts or any other youth groups and things and what have you to use it like that. And we kind of approached them way back in the mists of time and said, do you mind if can we hire the place? Lock, stock and two smoking. And they said, yeah, what for? And we said interactive games. We didn't try to explain LARP. It was too difficult. And they said, yeah. And we used it time and time again. Because it can fit just about any setting, and that's the beauty of that place. Whether you want to do an Elizabethan period thing, right, it fits. Whether you want a spooky house in the middle of nowhere, it fits. Right? If you just want somewhere where people can go to eat and sleep, etc., blah blah blah, it fits. Right? And now with the addition, where before they didn't allow the other buildings to be used too much. I mean, we did sort of pry their arm a little bit to use another one of the buildings back in the mist of time. Yeah. But now they've gone like, use everything. It's just, here, have this Saxon building, use it. Etc. Then brilliant. I don't think there's anything now that you can't actually run there in that respect.
Yeah, funny enough, I actually said, it was today when we were cleaning up that I said this place would be perfect for a horror LARP. I would love to do a horror LARP in this thing because it really does.
That is pretty much where we hosted 95% of the Fear of the Dark games. Yeah, pretty much 95% I think were hosted there. There were a few other ones that we used that were even more remote.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. I mean,
and even spookier.
Yeah.
But for people who aren't aware, Fear of the Dark was a local concoction. It was a free-form horror LARPing group that sort of started up in the 90s and went on into the early 2000s. And we've all, myself and Stuart, we have very, very fond memories of Fear of the Dark. It was some of our earliest LARPing experiences and some of the best games still that we've been to.
Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, and it's all basically our close friends. Yeah, it's just, it's the only way to describe it. They are basically all our close friends, and we've all just gotten so busy with because life gets in the way and stuff. I'd love to resurrect it. I have broached the subject several times. They've all gone, yeah, great idea, but I'm in France, and things like that. So,
you
suggested it, but no bugger will.
No,
But again, I think we may have to sort of. I have to be thinking about it a few times. I think we may have to take the spirit of it and give it a sort of a new title and just try to rebuild something similar.
Yeah.
Only with all the knowledge we've gained since.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Although we did do one. I'm going to be having this now because I'm going to. So tough. We did one of the favorite games there we did was just on the outer edges of mid Wales, completely remote, and it was a 2-building setup.
Yep.
With a courtyard between them, and we did a reality TV game show there.
Basically, Big Brother.
Big Brother. So what we did in one building, we put a closed circuit TV system in there. We had the crew, we had the ref team and the crew monitoring the players. We locked them inside the building for a day with no outside world contact whatsoever. And that started doing freaky things to their heads. Just being sealed in a room for a day. So when people say nobody on Big Brother would act that way, I'm actually going, well, actually, they probably would, because I've seen it. I've done this to people, and they do.
And they do.
Oh,
they really
God.
do.
And they do. And then the other side was a haunted house. And the deal was they're trying to win a reality TV show to go and spend some time in the haunted house. And the haunted house we had laid out was a creepy old couple looking after it. And it was terrifying. Only once that part of the game opened up, things went progressively downhill for the players from there. Things got much, much, much worse. I'm not going to say anything else because I don't want to go to spoilers, but wow. A mind-melting scenario.
Yeah, it's it does conjure up images of Dave, our friend Dave, as a creepy old man, which he now is. But you know,
it was a look to the future.
It was indeed,
Indeed.
This is how he's going to be.
But anyway, should we try to get back to the Wilderness Centre?
Yes.
You
know, have we gone off topic? This is strange.
we never do that. Yeah.
No, never. So, Rob, as we've said, we are long-term users of the Wilderness Centre. What's the differences?
Okay, so as Tom said, first of all, the bedrooms.
Yeah.
They've improved the mattresses in the beds, and they are much comfier than they used to be.
Oh, thank God for that.
Yeah,
not that I ever really slept,
nice,
you know.
So yes, beds are much, much comfier.
Okay.
Everything's had a paint job. So they've, for example, they've painted over or removed. There was one very strange picture dominating the entrance hallway. I don't know if you remember that, Stu. And also some very peculiar protected painted eyes around there.
Yeah.
They've now been completely gone over, and it's much more neutral.
Okay.
So it's lost a little character.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's gained a neutrality, which means you could probably now set dress it to be more convincingly other places.
Yeah.
So I'm taking that as a positive because now that we can set dress it better,
yeah,
that's great. Obviously, all the rooms are the same size because they haven't jiggled any rooms.
Yeah.
And that's great. Toilets and showers are pretty much as they were, and that's fine because they were very good anyway.
Yeah.
It's mostly the decor now. It's a much cleaner looking decor. They've painted out to actually look a little bigger than it used to look inside.
Okay.
They've opened up some cottages, which we only ever got to use once or twice because they were an additional cost and sometimes difficult to negotiate.
Yeah.
And they were great as we used one of those as an in-game tower, and that worked really well. The fact that we can open up more buildings now and have people go from point to point to point on the site is really good.
Yeah.
And there's been some structural repair work and some going over of the areas on the car park, so that's a little safer now. So
Okay.
that's good. And one of the things, again, is a good point, is that you've got a player car park, is isolated in a courtyard, so once you park your cars and you're in-game, the cars aren't far from you, so if you need to get off-site, it's really easy, but they're now tucked out of the way. Great.
Yeah, they're definitely they're very close, in all fairness. I mean, fair play to them, they are very close. But as Rob said, they're out of the way, kind of like in a secure, like secluded, walled-off area, so it's very easy to miss. You know, so you're not going to have the dispense of belief of having a car there while you're walking through a forest or something.
Yeah, so there you are.
They're very out of the way.
Yeah.
Through fancy forests and any cars.
Yeah.
I think that does not happen here.
Yeah, no, I remember that it was always very good that you could kind of hide your cars away. So if you were doing any type of scenario which didn't involve, well, technology and what have you, then at least they were kind of hidden away, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, they didn't know. Some backroom areas are pretty much unchanged.
Yeah.
The kitchen area is as it was, but that
Yeah.
kitchen was a fabulous professional
was.
kitchen anyway.
It was, yes. Yeah,
And that's still there. 'Cause it's great.
with huge fridges for your beer.
Now they're the bonus there now.
Oh, okay.
In the dining area now, they've now invested in sandwich making cabinets. So you have very big steel cabinets, and at the top refrigerated area, if you chose to, you could fill up with different sandwich ingredients
Okay.
and have a work surface to make sandwiches on for the players.
Right.
But beneath those are large refrigerators, also in the main player dining area.
So huge beer
So
fridges.
now we have huge beer fridges where the players are playing.
I don't think Rob understands the word fridge. All he's hearing is huge beer container.
They are huge beer containers.
Yes. Hey, that works for me. Excellent. So all in all, then you will definitely give this a massive thumbs up. Then.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
Yeah. As
Right.
Tom says, the outside is now the land is still. They haven't lost any land, so
Right.
there's a lot of land to play with.
So I'm assuming then that the event you were at was a Twilight Realms game. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It was so. Twilight Realms ran for 10 years originally.
Yeah.
We brought it to a halt about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And it kind of run the course of that plot lines through. And at the time when we getting funny harder to get locations, we thought we'll just cool it down out a bit. And then intervening years, the Twilight Realms group have done a few other odds and ends of games and a few games off the TI universe, not connected to the TI universe. Notably, quite a few horror games, a few loose fantasy games. But we decided now that now is the time to bring back the TI universe. And we're spooling time on a bit, and there's been a few changes in the background plot.
So basically, then you've done a WoW expansion. Okay.
Essentially,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we have, absolutely. Yes.
You've taken a leaf out of Blizzard's book.
This is Twilight Realms Tempest Universe Expansion 1.
Yeah.
Hey, look, if it works for a multi-billion corporation, then it should work for TR.
Why not?
Yeah.
I like it, Time has passed by.
Go on, Stu. Go on, do it. Do the voice.
Actually, I can probably do one better. Let's have a look. 1 second.
Are you going to say, in a world?
In a world where many things have happened and other things have gone on, we shift time. Twilight Realms. You know you want to.
We're available to hire for any LARP event that you wish to.
We've always said this, mind. If you actually want, a trailer made of an audio trailer, right? We will do it seriously. We won't do it like we do it on here, right? Email the show, larpbookshow@gmail.com, right? I'll do it for you. Not a problem. I have never got an issue with anything like that. I won't even charge you any money. If you want to make a donation, entirely up to you, because we do happen to have a Patreon and things like that and all the rest of it, yeah? But I will happily do that. Tom will happily do that. I'm sure Rob will happily do that.
I'll happily do that.
Not an issue. And we do, and I definitely do character voices as well. So if there's any, type of thing you want to, whether or not it's something like that, I'll do it. That's fine. Then just ask, and I will do my best for you. Right? Simple as that. But larpbookshow@gmail.com. Put in your requests, and I'll send you across the file. Not an issue. Just don't think it'll be done really quickly, because I do have a business to run and stuff, and a life and a wife, what have you. that insist. Yeah, and dogs, that insist that I actually sort of hoover every now and then, and that sort of thing. Oh yeah, and of course a daughter that's coming up to 20 goddamn 3. I feel old. But apart from all that, yeah, I'll get it done probably within a week or so, because I'm nice.
That's good. We'll get them. And we'll also nag each other to make sure it happens.
Oh yeah.
We're good at that.
Yeah. And of course, should you want Hugh Laurie to be on your show? Well, Tom's there. He can do a pretty good impression. Yeah.
Yeah, I could do it. Yeah, no problem.
That's fine. So what was this game actually about then? Getting back quickly on topic.
Okay, so this is to get people back used to the Tempest universe.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tempest universe is a single world made up of nations, and all the nations are under player control.
Okay.
So each national leader is not an NPC, is an actual player making decisions as a player.
Yes.
Now we have one nation called the Helvetians.
Yeah.
Totally not inspired by the Roman Empire. Honest go, we have not ripped them off in any way, shape, or form.
Look, I don't think you're going to be sued by them. I think they're pretty much gone now, so I think you're all right. I don't think there's any copyright or patents held on Roman principles, ideas, armor, swords, shields, helmets. I think you're all good. I don't even think the sandals are patented anyway.
I think we're going to be good then. Okay, they've gained a new emperor who had been aggressively conquering the world.
Hang on. I've just realised.
Yeah?
Who came up with a name? Because I'm pretty sure that's a font.
That's Helvetica. Although I can guarantee you that they were at least once. I heard at least one person calling them the Helveticans.
Okay, carry on. Sorry for the interruption.
Okay, so this team was set up in the previous campaign.
Yeah.
At the end of the previous campaign, there had been a worldwide war against an orc army.
Yeah.
And also one of the nation states, an Arabic state, had fallen in on itself under civil war.
Okay, yeah.
And that allowed the expansion to start, and it had gone on from there.
Right.
So at this point now, we have a number of nations being neutral-ish on paper.
Yeah.
Some being outright, no, we want to get things back to how they were.
Yeah.
But we also have a lot of groups setting up, okay, we've got to deal with this problem, and they're doing it in their own ways.
Yeah.
And this was just one part of one faction trying to get things started to put things right.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think Tom never played a Tempest game before.
No. So I was completely new to that.
Completely in the dark and new. He'd only seen bits and pieces and heard bits of all the stuff that had gone on.
Mm-hmm.
Although I can say that, as one of the Tempest world leaders, I ended up having, even though I was reffing this game, I ended up having to sort of sneak off and do quite a few political conversations to set things up ready for future games.
Okay.
So that was great. Really enjoyed that. Loved the politics behind it.
Yeah.
So, so in this game, it was all about trying to restore some order to the world and trying to restore some connection to the gods. Because one of the things that's happened in the intervening times is that magic and the gods have gotten disconnected from the world.
Okay. So where was the magic?
Tom, would you like to explain where the magic was held?
Well, basically, there are ley lines, if I understand this correctly. There are ley lines around the world, and that's where most of the magical energy comes from.
Okay.
And somehow they were able to, dampen the magic, as it were, as a tactical advantage to conquer the world, basically.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe they use a lot of magic. The Emperor was very much against magic. He hated it. So somehow, we don't know how, he was able to dampen the magical energies that came out of the ley lines. That's not to say it was completely shut off, but it was severely weakened. So essentially, our job was to find this gentleman who had an item that could potentially oomph the magic again into the world.
And that's an excellent word, by the way. Oomph the
I
magic.
thought so.
We don't use oomph enough in this world.
No.
Yeah.
Oomph.
So essentially that was our main objective.
Okay.
Was to do that. Rescue this guy from a prison in an occupied country and then escort him over the border to a ley line to do a ritual. Well,
Okay.
did he go? Yeah, I think he did the ritual.
Right.
Well, he actually take part, but what he was carrying did.
What he was carrying did, yeah.
All right. Okay. And did you complete your objective, or did you fail miserably?
No, it was actually for LARP. It was very successful with all of it. I mean, as a group,
Right.
surprisingly,
Yes.
it wasn't easy, which was good. There was a challenge with it, but it wasn't. The way it kind of played out was quite different, I think, from what anyone ever started. Because for one, my character was enlisted in the Helvetian army.
Yeah.
At the beginning. Rob wasn't here for this, unfortunately. He came a day later. But there was a prisoner we had to get out of the prison on the Friday night.
Okay.
And we all, as usual with LARP, if you don't know anyone, what's the best place to go to introduce everyone?
Tavern.
There we go. In a tavern, we all go and we all start drinking and eating and stuff like that. And essentially,
You forgot about the prisoner. Okay, no, I see.
well, Helvetian guards came in and asking for papers and everything like that. And It all went hell, and apparently we had forged papers and stuff. So to make sure we don't spend a night in jail, I was conscripted into the Helvetian army for a week. Which,
yeah.
for a week, just for a week, because
Paid?
that's how long we were supposed to be in the country,
Paid?
supposedly. Paid, yeah, got two silver for it.
That's all right then. there's-
But that also gave the party another in, because technically I was a soldier, so I was protecting the prisoner.
Yeah.
So I had an in, and it was something. I don't know if Liz or any of the other rest kind of imagined that happening,
Right.
but it was really interesting. It was fantastically interesting how they did it. So yeah, essentially we got the prisoner. After a lot of talking, as LARPs do.
Yes.
And so yeah, and then it went from the next day where we had to travel cross country, fighting patrols, and then doing a ritual. And so yeah, and at the end of the day, it was all successful. We got to, what's the name of the land? The Elven lands we went to, Rob?
Okay, you ended up in the elven land of Dalsamir.
Dalsamir, that was it. That was it.
Which is the less racist of the elven lands.
Yeah, the less racist. And it basically ended up with everyone bar myself and Kiwi's character having a good ending.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have a particularly good ending.
In other words, you died.
No, I got thrown in prison. Yeah.
Yeah.
There were some player deaths. Technically I did pretty much die once, but I was brought back.
Yeah.
I'm getting better.
I'm getting better. I swear. But yeah, there were about. We were really worried at one point because I think we lost like 2 people in about as many encounters. They were dropping like flies.
Yeah, I mean, we've discussed this in the past. In character deaths or what have you are essential. They are essential to
really.
It's someone's got to be the red shirt. It's as simple as that.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, from a ref point of view, we did design this game to be tough. We knew there were going to be player deaths. We just didn't know which ones.
Okay. Yeah.
In other words, we wanted this to be a scenario where the players were nervous, where they knew they're up against the odds and they felt it.
But that's
You
kind
wanted
of what you want.
You wanted that emotional impact of knowing things are not going to be straightforward.
Yeah.
But there was genuine risk here.
You want danger. If there's no danger, what's the point?
Yeah.
You could just stroll around and go, okay, whatever. And it just kind of takes you out of the moment. If there's genuine danger that you could die, and everyone in that party thought, oh my God, we could die.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a number of times where I was literally borderline going down, almost again. I was just thankful we had so many healers in the party.
Yes.
that it really gave that sense of threat and urgency of what we were doing as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that is necessary. We've certainly been to games where nothing or nobody dies, and you're like, well, here's some monsters, bash them. Here's some more monsters, bash them. Whatever. What's that? An idol that I got to pick up from a thing? Yeah, no, I'll just grab it.
Yeah.
But until there's actual oh crap, he just died. Crap, she just got torn in half. That you go maybe I don't want to go and get that idol now.
Maybe we won't charge forward into that fort straight ahead of us and kill everyone. Maybe we'll think of another way to get in there.
Maybe
it makes you think
will,
outside the box as well.
Yeah. Maybe if we construct a giant wooden rabbit,
the great wooden leapers.
What have you? So, right, just going back then quickly. We talked about the Wilderness Centre. If any of you use some fantastic locations out there, let us know. Email in, right? larpbookshow@gmail.com, or put a post then up on larpbook.com, just to tell us why you like a particular site, and why it's always worked for you in the past, or is there a site that doesn't work for you anymore, that sort of thing. What's the reasons behind it? We'd like to hear all of your comments, reviews, and all the rest of it. And maybe if we get enough of them, we'll actually correlate them together and perhaps have a bit of a directory of places to hire.
That'd be
nice.
Great. That'd be fantastic. And I'm pleased. We've been talking about sites in the UK a lot, and Wilderness Centre, which is very much England, but please, anywhere in the world, we'd love to get some idea, flavour of what's going on in Europe, USA, Australia, anywhere.
Yeah, exactly, because we are international, so just because we harp on about the UK, because that's where we are, right? It's as simple as that. Nothing we can do about that.
We'd love to visit more laps in Australia. It's like problem getting there.
If you could pay for the flight there and back, accommodation, food, we're more than willing.
Visas.
To monster for a LARP over there. Don't worry about that.
Just a weekend thing,
It's fine. It's fine.
Or a month long.
Although a bed is required.
Well, look, it's optional for me. I'll tell you that now. I can sleep anywhere.
He can. Yeah, he really can sleep anywhere. Just remember, this is Australia. We are talking about Australia, the land where if it breathes, it wants to kill you.
Yes.
Is it moving? Yes. Then it probably wants to kill you. Yeah, but that's fine. I can play dead with the best of them.
Oh my God, it's safe.
Yeah. Possum. Right. Okay. Let's move on then. Let's shibby on, as they say. Right then. And I need to bring this up, so I need to talk about it. Not that one. That one. Okay.
Which one?
Wizards, the insurance one. Wizards, Warriors, and the Quest for LARP Insurance. Yes. When you're running a LARP, the one thing that is possibly furthest from your mind, other than what are the characters going to do, what are the plot elements, do I need to create any props, yada yada yada. The one thing you really should be thinking about is insurance, as boring as that may seem, and so, I don't know, counterintuitive, I suppose, to the freeform that is LARP. That if you are running an event, insurance is actually fairly important. You always think it won't happen to us. It's all fine, gov, not a problem. But as Rob and Tom will contest, the weekend game that they went on, they almost had a very serious incident happening. It was it's close to being serious. And if something had happened, without the insurance that they've all got in place and what have you, they could open themselves up for some very nasty court costs and reparation and what have you. So let's talk a little bit about that. I think insurance companies are quietly getting on board. I know I've looked for insurance for some weird and wonderful things in the past, and you usually can find an insurance provider that will help you out. Look, like everybody else, they're willing to take your cash. All right,
They want your money.
They want your money.
Of course
They go, no worries, you know. And as live action role play is becoming more and more into the public sort of psyche, because a lot of companies centrally do role play scenarios, whether it be a first aid thing or whether they're doing training someone to go on the phones, whatever it may be. Yeah, they're now getting the idea of what role play is and what live action role play is. So they now know what the risks are. The risks are usually fairly minimal, because as much precaution is taken at the outset, you know, to make sure that everybody is safe and happy, because we want everybody to be safe and happy, because we want them to come back, you know, not leave in a box.
Die.
Yeah, you know. So,
Not dying is a bonus.
That's right. Yeah, I've always thought so. Anyway.
And I think actually this might be one thing that people who don't LARP don't always get, because they see the popular image of LARP with people running around hitting each other badly and going, that either looks very stupid or just looks stupidly silly or dangerous. But actually, the amount of effort almost does every group I've ever talked to or seen or met put into people not being hurt is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, that the safety is like the paramount thing at LARP events.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's shown. I mean, like I said, weapons and armor is tested to make sure it's LARP safe. People who are new and maybe not will give the tutorial with LARP in what to hit, what not to hit, and everything like that. And if there is this slightest bit of an injury, everyone just stops immediately and ensures that person is safe. I don't think you can do much more about safety. They really do. It is paramount at each event.
Yeah. Exactly. And you know, we've got a post that we'll be putting up onto the website LARPBook.com. So my brain actually decided to actually freeze there for a minute and go like, what are you doing? That's all about that. To be honest, we'll put that up there. Yeah. And you know, as you read the article and what have you, fair play is actually very good. You know, it says even though the insurance is now easier to get, it's still rarely implemented. Yeah, and because, like I say, when we run LARPs, when we go to LARPs, you can see that a lot of thought has been sort of put into is this actually safe to do? You know, if we're using pyrotechnics, you know, is the person trained? Is he competent? Is he not drunk? You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know,
just a quick note: the article is sort of very US centric, which is great for American listeners. But everybody should have a look at this, because it just makes a few very important points. And perhaps if you're not looking at insurance that much now, spend some time on it. And if you are running a game and you're running insurance, you want to comment on it, please let us know. We'd like to know. The more information we can put out here, the better.
Exactamundo. That'd be fun.
Definitely.
Toppy-doozy.
But you're right. We did have a player have an accident, and once again, it was an accident, not caused by LARP combat.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was just an ordinary everyday fall.
Yeah.
I've never actually seen an accident caused by LARP combat. I have seen a few people have tripped over where they've fallen, where they slipped. But that would be true of anybody operating on rough ground.
Yeah, I suppose the only one that I've ever kind of seen was the first ever event that my wife went to. She did get clobbered pretty nastily.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yes, she did have a very unfortunate hit, didn't she?
Yeah, straight to the head, when the head was actually outlawed anyway in the game. So not only did the the young lad get severely reprimanded, he then also had to deal with my wife later.
Yeah, I was going to say, that poor bastard. I would not like to have been him at that point.
Yeah. We'll leave it at that. Anyway, they haven't found the body, so we're all good. But yeah, so but accidents do happen. Yeah, it's as simple as that. Accidents do happen. It's usually the most mundane of stuff, tripping over a log, what have you. Not in the heat of battle. Usually in the heat of battle, you're much more aware of what's going on.
Oh yeah, I think everyone's more aware in the heat of battle than anything that where their feet are, because you're concentrating more. You're more aware of your surroundings. Whereas if you're just walking, you're kind of blasé, like okay,
tripping over a tent peg.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm fine.
Tripping over a tent peg and knocking over the barbecue. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's. We've all been there.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. So have a look at that. Up on site when we get it up there. Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be in the show notes, so that'll be there for you in a few days' time, I expect.
Yes. So we're going to pop onto the news now. I really should get someone to make some bumpers for like different sections that we're going to do. That'd be nice. If anybody's out there can make actually, I think they're called stingers, if I remember rightly. A radio term. If anyone can make any stingers for like the different things that we got. Let us know and help us out. We'll mention you lots on the show. So, if you remember, we reported back on the archery lawsuit for the heads of the actual arrows that was being taken out against one guy that basically earned a living making these darn things, along with many other things he does. And a company tried to take him to court to say, like, you can't do that. That's actually patented. Well, apparently the lawsuit has ended. He has won the actual lawsuit. However, there is an addendum. And fair play to him. He had to raise. He did raise £7,500. For legal costs, what have you, and he was trying to get 100,000 to make sure this would all just go away. But let me have a look. I'm just quickly reading the other bit.
Would you like a bit of background on this? What I can see, whilst you're having just double checking, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
As far as I can make out, this all happened in the States.
It did, and LARPing.org. Which had been Upstart Arrows, who have been manufacturing and selling online LARP safe arrows for years, was sued by the US group who do archery tag. Yes, Newegg, innit?
No, Newegg, the hardware company he buys his computers from.
Oh, right, sorry.
So archery tag is a sort of being labelled, hitting the mainstream as this great new sport where you shoot arrows at each other. And it's been getting a lot of mainstream coverage in recent years.
Oh yeah, we've looked at that and gone like, cool.
Yeah, it does. It looks fun. But apparently in the States, the company who run it and who organised it, they tried to get a patent on LARP safe, what are essentially LARP safe arrows.
Yeah.
And now what I can make out, they once they got the patent, they then tried to stop other people from making them so that they could have a monopoly on the equipment used for archery tag in the States.
Yeah.
What they hadn't realised, a couple of things, is that first of all, these arrows had been around for a very, very long time.
Donkey's years.
Like the 80s, I think, possibly.
Yeah.
They were invented in more than one place. They have groups in the States designing them, but they've also, I think Mark Stringer in this country developed design a long time ago. I think
he did.
I think Stu, he actually taught us a few things about using arrows a lot at a gathering many moons back.
He certainly did. He also showed us how to make the arrowheads and how to maintain them. Bless his cotton socks. You know?
Oh yeah, he's one of the great old guys of LARP. He's been around since it probably started, and he knows what he doesn't know about building kit, looking after it, or running games isn't worth really knowing, to be honest.
Yeah, taught me fletching as well. That's fletching, Tom. Before you know. Yeah.
Okay, I know. I'm listening.
Yeah, and I think what Archery Tag had forgotten was that there is this big tradition in the States, but also in other countries.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Of making these things, and so they couldn't actually win a court case because there was so much prior evidence that they probably shouldn't have been given this patent in the first place.
No, exactly.
But unfortunately, law costs money.
Yes, it certainly does, because you've got to hire lawyers or solicitors depending on which country you're in. But he has actually won. He's actually won that part of it. To say like patent, bugger off.
Yeah.
I can still make these things, which is great. But I don't think that this company is going to stop there. I'll be honest. I think they're going to take this even further.
Yeah, I think they are. Well, they're trying to brand now the idea of having a competitive game where people shoot at each other with safe arrows. Does that sound familiar to anyone?
Well, that sounds an awful lot like LARP.
Yeah, it sounds kind of familiar.
Actually, it sounds a bit like paintball mixed with LARP equipment.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. So, it's, to be honest, to me, it doesn't sound remotely original. I'm just surprised nobody started doing it before.
Yeah. yeah. Okay. Yeah, there is that, and if they try to sort of copyright this or whatever it is they're going to do, then good luck taking on the thousands of different LARP organizations that are out there that are pretty much doing what you're doing, but with story.
Yeah.
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 And drinking.
Characters and acting.
Yes.
And actually offering a more immersive experience.
Yes, exactly. So, good luck with that. Because I think what we do is vastly different. Yours looks like fun, don't get me wrong. Yeah? But what we do is far different. So good luck with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is the news section, I believe. Anything to add to that, guys?
I don't think so. I think that was worth mentioning.
Yeah,
it's an important. We are going. I have no doubt, like you said, this is going to happen again.
Oh yeah,
we're going to see more of this.
Yeah,
in the future.
I'm just waiting for someone to actually patent the word sword or something like that. Good luck, Shield, can't do that one because that is the strategic homeland. Was it strategic homeland something or other?
Oh, the people who are desperately in need of having an acronym that said Shield.
Yeah, and I think I've now just lost a couple of points from my nerd card that I can't remember what Shield stands for.
Your nerd card at this point well and truly clipped.
Ah, well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you two are now looking it up, aren't you? I can bloody see it.
Of course I know that it's the Supreme Headquarters International Espionage Law Enforcement Division.
Which is not the correct one. It's not the right one. It's the Strategic Homeland something or other. I'm going to look it up now. Stuff you, all right?
Okay, well, this is where we have our shield battles. Which version of the shield acronym is going to win?
It's Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement and Logistics Division.
There we go. Thank you very much. Your nerd card is now renewed, or something like that. So yeah, should we move on to something that there's no way I'm going to be able to pronounce?
But sure, why not?
But I'll have a go, because if nothing else, it'll be funny. Yeah. Actually, there's one before that I can pronounce.
Okay, let's do the one you can pronounce then.
So, the Living's... I said I could pronounce it. The Living Games Conference. A few lessons in LARPing. So, this is more actually under the events title, to be honest with you. Mainly because, well, it is an event. It is being held, just bring it up, in May 2016 in Austin, Texas. Yeehaw. What?
That was the most nonchalant yeehaw I've ever heard in my life.
Well, we are British, dear boy.
Yes,
he has got a point there. That was yeehaw with a cucumber sandwich in hand.
Absolutely, and a cup of tea. So this is big. I like what they're going to do with this. I was reading this earlier. That apparently you can go along dressed up anyway. And it's going to be a live role-playing event discussing live role-playing events, if I get the gist of the whole thing.
That seems about right.
Right? Because, as per normal, I speed read things and pick up words rather than actually reading fully the entire document. Because that's just the way I roll. And what they're going to be looking at is best practices for how different LARPs do things internationally. Right, so they're not just focusing what goes on in Texas, they're not just focusing what goes on in Denmark, right, etc. They want to bring a lot of people together to basically sort of hash things out and say, look, here's what we do, and then some can put their mitten up and go like, ooh, we've actually found a better way of doing that, and it's all about building up this tome then for best practices for LARP, whether that be running a LARP, attending a LARP, admin of a LARP, battle situations and whatever. Think of every facet that you can possibly think of about being in a LARP. Yeah. And what they're trying to do is to build this conference where it's a massive forum, but you'll also go along as well in costume and have some fun. And I expect there may be some alcohol there as well. Only saying, it being Texas and all, and probably some excellent steaks.
Oh, steaks.
So
I do think this is a great idea.
Yeah, it is.
Also, the keynote speakers. There's a few really good ones there.
Oh, there is. We'll have it all up on the website within a couple of days or so, I presume.
That's right.
And
the keynotes are the people who did things like Dystopia Rising, which are really fairly famous events. But and Klaus is going to be there.
Klaus! You mean
there it is? There it is.
Well,
that's it.
Of course, Klaus is going to be there. I mean,
Yeah.
If Mr. LARP himself.
Yeah, I mean, he really is now, isn't he? He is. He should actually introduce himself as, "Hello, I'm Mr. LARP." Which would actually save my voice quite a bit if he did that. I can't see anywhere on there. It just says in May.
Yeah, it doesn't say much more. I mean, am I blind?
Yeah, I
am blind, but am I like?
You're looking at the article about the event, and there's a bit of an interview there. Yeah, but the big thing is about if you look at the Living Games conference, and I will be putting a link up on the show notes for that.
There we go. It's May 19th to the 22nd.
22nd in Austin, Texas. So we will make sure this is from their own website, which is looking fairly informative.
Yeah,
and I'll make sure this link goes on the show notes so everybody can actually find the details. And there's maps to the location, maps tell you how to get there from the airport.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That is great. They do want it to be both international, and anybody trying to get to Austin from the States, they're going to have a very long drive unless they fly anyhow.
Oh yeah, fly dudes. Honest to God, fly. Do not drive. Fly into Austin, Texas, whatever the airport is, right, and then get a cab or something, or get someone to pick you up, because it's don't drive. So that's Living Games. And actually, what I might do, I'll prod Klaus to see whether or not he'll come on and talk about what went on there. Actually,
that'd be rather wonderful. I think there's a lot of people who like to hear some of the outcomes from this.
Yeah,
I can't think of anyone better to talk about it.
Yeah, I would like to hear. I'll be honest about the outcomes of this myself personally. So there we go. Right then, on to
the one you can't pronounce.
Hang on, let me just read it in my head first. All right.
Okay.
Bortum Barik Dadurna.
Okay, I'm going to have a shot at that myself. I'm going to agree on the bottom, and I'm going to raise you Barricaduna.
Okay.
Bottom
Tom?
Barricaduna. Tom! How do you pronounce
Well, I'm gonna stick with the Bortum because that does. Barika, no, Barik. No, it's got to be Barik Dadurna, right?
Yeah, Barik Dadurna. Well, I mean, like we don't know what inflection and what have you. Like the DAD might be the. You know.
Fortunately,
It really could be.
Fortunately, I do have the English translation for the name.
Go on,
And that's Beyond the Barricade.
Beyond the Barricade.
That's a cool name for an LARP event.
That is, hell yeah.
Especially when it's all about the June Rebellion in Paris in 1832. So place on your Les Miserables hats and start singing the tunes.
Don't do that. I can just see
sing,
a whole lot of
singing the songs of angry men
in the middle of a serious Swedish LARP game. Oh, that'd be so funny. It'd be wrong, but it'd be so funny.
Yeah, and you know I'd do it. You know.
Yeah, you would.
Do you hear the people singing the songs of angry men? I would do it, absolutely. I'd be up on the barricade, mate. Yes, come on, have it. So, it's a flamboyant and theatrical LARP. Do you know what? I really want to go and see one of these at some point. We don't do them over here.
I mean, what do they mean by a flamboyant? Is it just like over the top kind of costumes and acting?
Well, it can be.
That's the question. Is it going to be? Yeah, is it going to be over the top acting? Is it going to be costuming? Is it just going to be that they put
a massive scale?
Well, it does look like a big scale because it looks like they seem to be taking over a village in Sweden.
Yeah.
What, they're actually invading the village? they annex the village for this LARP event.
Yeah.
It's beginning to look like there's going to be a fair bit of the village used up for the LARP event.
Yeah, so it's a flamboyant and theatrical LARP about a group of revolutionaries during the June Rebellion in Paris in 1832. I remember it well. It is a game about burning conviction and great ideals, but also about the small human beings behind the revolution and their friendships, doubts and fears. Okay, so the LARP's going to take place during the 4th to the 6th of June 2016, obviously.
Yep.
In the village of Primus. Optimus Primus. No, Primus Vicus? In Johnstorp.
Vicus, I think.
Whatever it is, it sounds awesome for a village name.
It does, yeah. It almost sounds like it should definitely be transforming, you know.
Yeah.
I am Primus Vicus. I can unblock your nose. So it's
only the British people will get that.
I know.
Tom, do a translation. I'm too busy laughing.
Vicks is basically a vapor rub for when you got a cold and you got a stuffy nose, and the vapor kind of goes up and helps clear it.
There we go.
That's good enough.
It's a very, very popular vapor rub. I don't even call it vapor rub. I just call all of them Vicks.
Vicks, yeah.
So do I.
So it's going to take place, blah, 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 outside Halmstad in the southwest part of Sweden. Sweden, hurdy-burdy good. The LARP will be played and communicated primarily in Swedish. That's me out. I can't speak hurdy-burdy good. International players who are comfortable to play in a Swedish-speaking environment are welcome to attend as well. I'm comfortable playing in whatever, in German, whatever, you know, I can do Ausschweitz! You know, not a problem. I can scream at things.
I mean, you might be comfortable, but they won't.
What you mean? When I'm just basically...
I have awful visions of Stuart trying to play in a Swedish environment as a Swedish chef, putting chocolate on the mousse.
The chocolate on the mousse.
The mousse.
And you should all get that, because that's the Muppets. Everyone has the Muppets. So the venue, blah, 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 yada, 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 yada. There is a website to go to. We will put that up, because there's no way I'm going to try to... it's actually Primus Vicus. Does that sound like a... Well, it's a joke Roman name, isn't it, sir?
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like a Monty Python name.
It's a comedy Roman name.
You know, like Picus Dicus and Nautius Maximus.
Oh,
Oh, actually, no. Primus Vickers has a website
Yes, I know. I look.
and a Facebook page
God.
and YouTube entries. But it still sounds like a comedy Roman vicar.
He has a great. I have a great friend in Rome. Oh no. Oh, I'm a bit more redder on screen now. Oh. Oh. I amuse myself sometimes. Right. So, we'll put the link and what have you up into the show notes and up onto the website, etc. Soon-ish, within the next couple of days, maybe the next week. So, have we talked about everything?
I think we
We
have.
have.
Wow. Excellent. We managed to cram it into just over an hour.
Wow.
That's not bad.
How do we do that?
Not bad.
That's not bad, actually. If anybody is wondering where Luke is this evening, Luke has decided to basically go off and do other things. So we wish Luke all the best for
Absolutely.
that and what have you. And always, as I told him as well, he's always welcome back on the show anytime, not a problem. Whether it's just a guest or whatever he wants to do, happy to have him on because we love you.
Of course.
What have you. So, if that's it, is it?
We've got no more notes today. I mean, we have other topics coming up in the future, but if we go on to those, we'll be here until the next episode.
Forever.
So we better stop.
Yeah, forever. So I think it's basically, I think it's basically a good night from us, really, to be honest with you. Thank you very much for watching the show. Thank you very much for those that are watching it live on YouTube and the Twitch channel when it was working. I'm not quite sure if it is anymore. We just said, stuff it, we'll check it out anyway. But should you want to, you'll be able to get this up on YouTube. Anyway, just look for LARPBook and you'll find us. As simple as that.
Yeah. Okay.
So thank you very much, guys, for another fantastic show.
No, thank you, Stu. That's great.
Oh, thanks. It was great.
It was great.
It's great.
Great.
Right, so let's kind of get out of here. Right then, so music as per normal was provided by Ben Sound at bensound.com. Pop across to the Patreon, patreon.com/LARPBook, and see if you can help out the show, because we've got to pay for all this ourselves. That includes hosting and all the rest of it. Have a look at our really cool, rad new t-shirt, which basically states, I LARPed before it was cool. You can get that up on Redbubble. Redbubble.com. Just search for LARPBook and you'll find the t-shirt there. I'm ordering mine tomorrow because I want one, because it's awesome. You can listen to the podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, Twitch, and pretty much any podcatcher that you use. Up on the website podbean.larpbook.com, you will find an RSS feed. Check it into your favorite program, and you'll even get the old, the past shows as well, and listen to the craziness that's there. Should you want to contact the show at any time, larpbookshow@gmail.com. Just give us a call. Put an audio file across, send us an email, send us a video, anything. We'll listen to it all. We're not proud or shy. Visit the webpage at larpbook.com. News, reviews, events, you name it, there's a whole bunch of stuff up there. We are now pretty much the first search choice when it comes for LARP news. You can follow us on all the usual Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus. Just search for LARPBook. In fact, just search for LARPBook. Full stop. You'll find us everywhere. And don't forget, give us a 5-star review on iTunes. I really should start looking at that to see if anybody has, and give you all a shout out. So it's a good night from me, it's a good night from Rob, and it's a good night from Tom. Good night.
Nighty night.
Good night.
And there we have it. I shall stop the audio recording. Thank you very much for everybody that did manage to tune in, with Twitch being rather twitchy tonight.
Yeah, it was a bit. It was fairly stable, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once it settled down.
So thank you all. I'm gonna stop recording, so we don't need to record any more of that, and etc. And I'll stop streaming in a second. So thank you all for watching and enjoying the show. Let us know anything we're doing right, anything we're doing wrong. LARPBookShow@gmail.com. Let us know, because we are here for you. So good night from us.